Hello, friends. Empress Danny here. Let's check in. Let's just say a beautiful day for manifesting. Um, we're back with another episode of the Daily Grind, pouring you up a hot cup of Joe. I am releasing this to Patreon on a Sunday. So I don't know what day it'll release publicly, but let me just say I feel like today's message could be a little bit different because quantum physics is hitting. We have the observer at the bottom of the deck where I'm starting. You guys already know that already means watch it freaking collapse. And some of you are, and this is it feels amazing because I feel like you're realizing, becoming aware of a real power or ability, adapted in mindset, keeping or maintaining a certain state of being or state of mind. This could even be like a willingness to adapt that in any given moment. Because I kind of see like Queen of Swords energy. I see someone with the sword, but really kind of taking that sword to one's own mind and refining the perspective, making that truth sharper and sharper, which means manifestations becoming more acute in terms of like accuracy, being on point, what it is that you want. Some of you, this certainly could indicate that you're becoming far more detailed when it comes to what it is that you are praying or petitioning. And sometimes this is when you establish or define things for your life. I just heard your handbook, so for some of you that could resonate. But when you establish your handbook, if you will, these are like the way you're going to do things, the way you're going to live your life, the way you're going to make decisions. It's almost like what you will say of you based on, did I do this or did I do that? Well, this says this of me, this says that of me, which is the one that I want to be said of me. And so I feel when it comes to my making those determinations in that way, it's a very, it is no nonsense, but it's also, it's very clear. So it's yes or no, and it's very discerning. So when it's yes, it's like oh yeah. When it's no, it's like definitely not. Okay. So I feel because of this, it's helping you to relate to things and people in the appropriate way and what feels like see progress. Okay, this feels like something that you may have missed previously, which is okay, right? It happens to the best of us. I'm not going to pull a Sabila, but interestingly enough, where I stopped is the thief. Okay, like I said, this could certainly be what is this is kind of like the thief. It feels almost like stolen information, right? It's kind of like the secret, whatever, what no one's saying, right? What people are not telling. There's something about that, okay? And this could be like in your circumstance, right? Take that as mundane as you wish, um, or no, right? But the thief is, again, it doesn't have to be intentional. Okay. So when you see that card, or even like just for those of you who read on your own, when you see Seven of Swords, don't automatically assume intent to deceive because it doesn't speak to the intent. It speaks to the challenge because there's something that's missing. I may perceive deception because there's something that's missing. There could be deception, right? But that's where the challenge is discerning, is there deception or not? So that's what I feel like the thief is. And ultimately at the end of the day, it's honestly not even caring about deception, but more so about like finding out what's missing. So with the observer, and I saw the vulnerability card, but with the observer, if there is a vulnerability, then you are what feels like being sensitive to the vulnerability, right? Again, if the thief is there, something or someone has gotten away from me, I missed something, there, whatever it is, there is this observer energy that's like, it's not take a step back because it's not saying, oh, go inactive in terms of your role. It's saying, watch. Pardon praise, so perhaps so. But it's saying watch and wait, okay? For what feels like what's missing to be found out or to be discovered. That's part of the plan. timing is here. So, oh my gosh, it's a garden sale. Love it, right? It just indicates, it's almost like observe, right? Keep doing what you're doing, but observe for alignment that is in what feels like the process of taking place. So, for some of you, that's the case. Allow for things to align, right? With the thief, right? You may be missing it, they may be missing it now, but there is an overarching plan. There's what is a greater plan. So some of you, that's what's coming out of the top of the day. Timing, and look at that. Party time, yeah. You're Eddie Murphy. My girl likes to party all the time. I'm like, hey, timing, party time. So this could even be like, yeah, I hear, woo, child, things are going to get easier. So it does make me feel like, party time could certainly be like the joy returning to your life, a time where you're maybe able to take a load off, let your hair down, okay? As I had two cards fall, and I am going to keep them because if I recall, in our daily patterns, we had the slow down card around 5 or 6 days ago. Okay. Today it came out with wonderment. So it makes me feel as though this could be a lesson that you had previously learned, but a demonstration of your skills or something that you were putting into practice that would slow down in wonderment. You're realizing your power. It's almost like when I take my time and do it right, right? When I'm not, this can even be slow down, right? Like the energy, right? You don't have to worry. You don't have to be anxious. You don't have to rush. When you just allow, yeah. What's that song? Slow down, maybe let me love you. I can't remember who sings that song. There's I want to say a remix with a girl, and I can't think of her who she is either, but I like that song. But it's almost like I can't lie, I'm getting this energy that's a little bit like slow down and play along, right? Slow down and just act it out is kind of what it feels like. But that's what observer is. It's acting, it's going through the motions, but also like from this removed perspective, it's a very dual energy because it's a shifting of perspectives from one's own perspective to one's own perspective, but like my present self and my future self. But that's what I really feel like for some of you. This is that third eye, three-dimensional third eye energy that we talked about, like what has been a while ago. If you recall, we talked about the past being an I, the present being an I, and the future being an I, and those being succinct or aligned in a certain way with the vision is what literally has a magnetism that attracts or draws whatever your manifestation is. So for some of you, that's what's taking place. Is there's something that is now that alignment within your inner vision is now syncing up or taking place, and it's drawing something to you. Okay. And it's almost like slow down and you'll realize just how powerful the thoughts that you think are deep down is here. This is a really strong card of like immense peace. I love that I see purity here. So for some of you, when I talk about your petitions, your prayers, your manifestations, it makes me feel like some of the things that you've been doing have been purifying the intentions of your heart. And I feel like that is what is most valuable on a universal scale, and perhaps even what a lot of people miss. I also feel like purifying your intentions where it's not centered around like the ego based desires. It's not centered around personal gain. It's centered around areas within you where you have a very deep sense of peace. It's almost like I know this is my calling and I'm going to have to do it. So it's not like it's like realizing like this is what it takes to do it. So if I have to have this, it's less of a focus on this for me or my, my comfort or my security. It's more of a focus. It's like realizing every tangible thing. I want a partner, but even a partner, right? It's like every person is a means or in keeping it a band, right? a tool to be able to accomplish that purpose. And so that's what I mean when I say a deep down peace. And this is not at all like using people, it's recognizing the purpose for which you were here. Why am I living my life? And when you get that instilled in you, and that's what I feel is rooting deep down, and you have a peace about what you're here to do deep down, and you know your intentions are pure, that what it is that you are rooted or grounded into is unmovable. And when you think about that, if everyone is rooted in their purpose and some purpose is in greed, how deeply buried is greed? So when greed is pulled on, or when you think about the trying times we live in, when greed faces some sort of resistance, how strong or tough will greed be to be able to withstand that resistance because of how deeply it is rooted? And that's why the deeper the purpose, the stronger the pull. And sometimes for some of you, the longer it takes for that depth and that power to be realized because it's coming from such a deeply rooted place within. So that's why sometimes when it comes to actual time, it can take longer. I don't believe that it has to take longer. I think sometimes it does. We can impact that timing, um, causing it to lengthen, because if we don't realize that deep down, if we're not rooted yet, then we can be wavering, which can cause delays in that anchoring process or that vibrational plane of alignment making its way up. So for some of you, I feel something about today has to do with honestly what feels like a demonstration of you doing better than that. Then, and when I say that, I mean growing, improving, doing better than what you used to, and with purity, seeing what feel like the results of. I get maybe purity is like the reason behind the desire. Like one of the things that I pray for is that God would stir up my spiritual gifts, increase my giftings, and I ask for more power. I ask for a greater anointing, greater connection, and greater impact, amongst other things. But I don't ask for those things because, it's not, I don't want to be seen or anything like that. But I know what I'm here to do. And that is the reason that when it comes to how everything is going to work out, I believe I have definitely seen miracles in my life. And I'm amazed at the power of God and the things that have taken place and that are taking place. And I believe that the reason these things are taking place is because um, the universe, and perhaps even from an aspect of mine own despair, right? At times. And I think we all get to that point where, especially with that thief card, if something's missing or we're missing something, or, oh, why isn't this working? Then um, we feel that in our vibration, right? When I'm sick and I'm not getting better, why am I not getting better? What is the problem, right? And we can begin to doubt, right? Am I ever going to get better, right? What is wrong, right? And this can be, again, in any area of life. Um, and sometimes um, that space is what we have to overcome. That's what we have to hack or what we have to figure out. Again, the observer, quantum physics, we have to observe through that and not um, get so anxious or ahead of ourselves that we miss divine timing. And when the collapse takes place, we don't. We recognize that is simply alignment happening. So we are what? Observing, we're discerning to be able to see how the manifestation will then produce the power will be revealed or made known. Okay. That's a lot of power in today. So I feel like pay attention because some of you, this is beautiful because you're going to be recreating this because of the depth of peace that I feel like you have and the purity behind perhaps some of the things that you want, the purity of your heart, and um, I feel like your intentions, your purpose. So I just heard congratulations. So perhaps there are some in order. I love you. We're going to Patreon to get extended messages. I hope you guys will join this. I hope you'll join. Oh, I just heard Shopify. I hope you'll join us on Spotify. I love you. Like, follow, subscribe. Talk soon.